Well, hello again, Bruins fans. I'm Scott Travis coming at you from the Sports Den, and here's my 2015-2016 Bruins season preview. Now, obviously, last year did not end on a good note. The Bruins, even though they finished with 96 points, didn't make the playoffs. That led to changes throughout the organization. Peter Chiarelli, the GM, was fired, which, because of his mismanagement of the salary cap and extending the wrong veterans to expensive contracts, left the Bruins in the pickle they were in last season, where they traded Johnny Boychuk right before the season began, which was a mistake and really kind of helped to unravel the Bruins' hopes last season. So Don Sweeney's been promoted. He's been a member of the Bruins for many years. Last season was GM in Providence, and he's going to be taking over. He made a lot of good moves in the offseason. Claude Julien is back as coach, but he's been urged by upper management to put in a new up-tempo system that adds the defense more to the attack than what's been happening in previous seasons. And let's talk about who's not here. Nicholas Svedberg, the backup goaltender for last year, who was not very good in the role that he was trying to fill, which led to Tuukka playing in 70 games. He's gone over and played in the KHL, and after a battle in pre-season games in camp, Jonas Gustafsson, the veteran, has earned that backup spot to Tuukka Rask. So hopefully he performs well this season in that role so that Tuukka doesn't have to play 70 games. You know, somewhere in the 60 to 65 range is probably what's preferred. Who's not here? After last season, you know, Svedberg, I just said, is gone. Carl Soderberg, gone. Milan Lucic traded to the Kings for what was turned out to be a very good return. Bruins ended up netting 2 first-round picks and young defenseman Colin Miller, who is a scratch tonight, but I think you're going to see a lot of action from him. He's not in the lineup tonight versus Winnipeg to open the season, but I think he's somebody you keep an eye on. He was well touted playing for the Manchester Monarchs, won both the hardest shot and the fastest skater contest last year at the AHL All-Star Game. Also not returning, Riley Smith. We thought he was a little bit soft. He was dealt to Florida for Jimmy Hayes, a local Boston guy from Dorchester, who we think is going to add to the mix. He's got size and toughness, and more importantly, if you watch his career highlights, he goes to the net. Also, veterans, guys that we liked, Gregory Campbell and Daniel Paille, who were part of the 2011 Stanley Cup team. They're gone, looking for jobs elsewhere, and good luck to them in their endeavors. Dougie Hamilton, who was thought to be the next top defenseman in the Bruins organization. Apparently there was some friction in the mix, and he didn't really want to be here. He was dealt to Calgary for another number 1 pick, which hopefully works out in the future. But we're going to focus right now on this season. First of all, unfortunately, Dennis Seidenberg was hurt during his training for this season and needed back surgery for a disc problem, and he's going to be out probably till Christmas before he's back playing effectively. Zdeno Chara also was hurt, and he won't be in the lineup tonight. He is more day-to-day. It's an upper body injury, and we'll hopefully get him back for this weekend. We have, after tonight with Winnipeg, we have Montreal and Tampa, so we got right into the division games after tonight, so it'll be important to get Z back in the mix. He's our number 1 defenseman. He is 38, so hopefully he can mostly stay healthy this season. But let's talk about who's here tonight. We can expect these combinations. We can expect newly signed left wing Matt Bolesky is going to play with David Krejci, who we hope is going to stay healthy. Missed 47 games last season, which hurt us. And on the right wing will be young David Pasternak, who was our number 1 pick last year and showed a lot of promise to start his NHL season. I think playing with fellow countryman and Czech forward Krejci will help him out, and Bolesky hopefully will play somewhat of that Lucic role. And again, if you see Bolesky's highlights, he goes to the net, so that's good. Second line, you're going to have the usual. You're going to have Patrice Bergeron. He's going to have Brad Marchand on left wing and Louis Eriksson on right wing. I'm interested to see how they perform. They should be pretty effective this season, both in the penalty killing role and the checking line role, and actually should put some offense up because Marchand and Bergeron have always showed that they have good continuity in the offensive zone. So we'll see how that works out. Third line, young Ryan Spooner, who finally got his chance to play last year when David Krejci was hurt. Claude hadn't used him a lot, but he's earned a spot as the third line center. He's going to center the newly acquired Jimmy Hayes, who came over from Florida. and also Brett Conley, who was acquired from Tampa Bay towards the end of last season, but we never really got a good look at him because he hurt a finger in practice before he even got out of the gate. So we're hoping that line is effective. Fourth line is going to have a lot of candidates. It looks like for tonight it's going to be Jonas Kampanen centering Chris Kelly and Zach Ronaldo. Ronaldo, bad reputation as a dirty player, but he brings some feist. If he can play effective in that role and not go over the line, that'll be good. Chris Kelly, obviously a veteran, he'll help in the penalty killing. Kind of overpaid for fourth line, but he's a backup. He can play center, so there's some value there. Young guys that made an impression in camp that are scratched for tonight is Tyler Randall, the winger, and I mentioned Colin Miller, who came over in the Lucic trade. Expect to see them within the first few games. I think the roster's going to fluctuate a little bit. I think when Claude gets to see how the thing plays out in real games and so forth. And Max Talbot was waived, but he's still around, and he could possibly be in the mix, especially with Chara out, if Chara stays out of the lineup or off the roster for any extended time. Again, Jonas Gustafsson is the backup this season. He's played a lot of games with Toronto and Detroit. He looks effective. And I just think now, as far as my predictions for the season, Bruins kind of come in with a chip on their shoulder. Nobody's really expecting a whole lot of anything from them. So I think that they could be a factor. I think it is a tough NHL. I watched the games the opening night, last night, Wednesday night, where the Sharks totally dominated the LA Kings, which was a surprise. And I saw Vancouver totally dominate Calgary, and even Chicago lost at home to the Rangers, and Montreal is going to be Montreal. They went into Toronto and won. So last night all the road teams won. Let's hope the Bruins turn that around tonight when they host the Jets. But anyway, I'm just excited, as you all are, to get the season underway. And I want to thank you for watching the video. And don't forget, my main page is on Facebook. It's Scott Travis Sports News. I'm also going to be posting this and everything else I do video-wise on YouTube under Scott Travis Sports News. And you can follow me for everything related to New England sports and all the major sports stories of the day on Twitter at Scott Travis SN. Thank you for watching. Go Bruins. And let's hope we got a good team that can play some solid hockey and get into the playoff mix. I don't know what the expectations are. It's too early to really tell. But we'll see how the team plays together. And if they can gel and play well under Claude, this could be a surprise sleeper team in the East. So we'll see what happens. We're not shooting for the Stanley Cup, I don't think, at this juncture. It's too early to say that. But let's hope that we're a playoff team. Thanks again. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thank you very much. I'll be talking to you guys soon.